If you want to be able to buy the most expensive players and open the best packs in FC24, go to u7buy.com to buy your EA FC24 coins. It's cheaper than buying FC points and just as reliable. With their already amazing prices, you can get an extra 6% using promo code Inception at checkout. Hey guys, what's going on? Inception here, and welcome to another video. This week was basically me just doing like fodder uploads, because when you do transfer market reviews, guys, they grow over time. They don't grow right away. Like sometimes they'll actually do better than the SBC reviews, depending on what type of content EA releases in the future with guaranteed full birthday packs and yada yada yada, right? I couldn't go through most of them because it's difficult for me to play this gameplay right now, and you guys know this. But this is a tier list today for the Showdown evolution. Okay, so that being said, I'm not necessarily ranking the specific players in order of like good to great. I'm ranking him from urgency of using the evolution, and to be fair, I'm still ranking them from like skill, to be honest, right? But yeah, okay, so the first card here, guys, we have is the Ben Chilwell card. Chilwell, to be honest with you guys, if you were to put him into the evolution, because let's say, I mean, to be fair, let's say you completed the SBC, right? You completed this version of the card, and then playstyles wise, you have all of this, and then you put him into the evolutions. In all fairness, this is actually a decent left back card, okay? People won't talk about it enough because obviously he's not going to be the top tier meta choice in regards to what they would put their evolution into. But as a left back, this guy's pretty decent, okay? High work rates, 5'11 height, 4-star capabilities, and has really good playstyles. You actually notice those base mechanics on the card when you initially use him. So if you choose to do the evolution on the card, it's not a completely horrible decision, but he would join the B tier category for longevity of the game, all that kind of stuff. Because I'm gonna be honest with you guys, man, if you have like Kai Havertz or Udogie, you're chilling as a left back, right? Like those two cards are really good. Kai Havertz, man, that card is it still lasts. Like it's a great card. That card is, that's why I put him in the S tier for the winter wildcard review, because, or the winter wildcard tier list, because those cards, they're just gonna last a long time, right? Even Hullet, I'd rather use the Hullet than the new MacAllister on a personal level, to be honest. Percy, I'm not gonna necessarily say that they're D tier. I don't see people doing it. I think that's what I would personally call it, because the female players, they could be decent, but like, I mean, the way that she's formatted, like by the looks of it, like right off the bat, right? This card is 4-star, 3-star, like right away. It's just gotta join that category. Okay, so here's the thing to mention right now with these showdowns. In every single review, there were certain reviews, guys, where I could tell you straight up, this card has the right base mechanics. If he gets improvements, he's going to be insane, right? Timo Werner, very good example of that. Akanji, another very good example of that. Clark, I'll tell you guys this right now, man. I don't care what anybody says. When I tried the card initially, it was a card that just felt like a bronze that was upgraded with the stats to whatever it is they gave him. But as you guys know, with the evolutions, it was all about this, okay? Because I did the same thing to João Felix too. Because João Felix at first, I'm like, certain things that annoy me a little bit, you know? They had to do this. And did they do this to the card? From, key thing here, because this is the whole point of this evolution. From this card actually does well in game now, 100%, okay? This card 100% does well in game. The two main playstyles that I told you guys to take a look at, and I mentioned this in the review, if they do this, which they did, right, is actually in the long ball pass and the intercept. Because you know who that reminds me of? It reminds me of this guy right here. Bruno Fernandes, the flashback card, right? He has intercept and he has the long ball pass as a playstyle plus. And I'll tell you guys right now, I love those two playstyles like crazy. Especially right now, lob passes are actually very, very effective after the patch. But then his playstyle pluses are very good. Press proven plus, pinged pass, but you just need to put it in the evolution. You see, if you put it in the evolution and you give him a shadow chemistry style, this card can actually do a really good job in game, 100%, okay? So he joins the A tier category because, to be honest, it's a very, very solid card, right? Very, very solid card. I tried him on somebody's account for a review, he was chilling in the midfield, and I'm like, there, significantly better. Because before, it literally just felt like a bronze card that was upgraded. But now it actually feels like a proper card to use that can 100% be used in the top division. Like, I see top division people using him 100%. If... We're going to mention afterwards, okay? If. All right. McCaskill, I don't see people doing it. Sanchez, to be honest... I could see Sanchez being pretty decent. But again, I think with this card, he joins the category of maybe people do it, maybe people don't. It was a cheap card, 27k, wasn't like super crazy expensive. You know, but on a shadow chemistry style, he's very well formatted, right? 90 acceleration, 99 sprint speed. Defensive stats are there. He has slide tackle plus, but the main thing is the other play styles, right? He's got jockey and anticipate with aerial, pinged pass. So this one is going to join the category of could be good, but I don't know, right? And obviously those join the category, that joins the category of I don't really, you know, it's one of those things, right? Okay, Sungari, another good example of a card that gets the evolution. I'm going to be honest with you guys right now. With this one, it is another situation of could be good, but I don't know. I'm going to tell you why, okay? The initial version didn't really notice anything too special out of him, okay? The second version didn't notice anything too special of him. This is on a personal level, okay? Because Guiu has the Premier League card, so I'm like, you know what? I'm going to put Sungari in the team and see if he performs really well, right? And for me, it just didn't hit, right? I haven't tried out this card. I mean, I would have if under different circumstances, right? I have not tried out this card at 13k, but the playstyle suggests that he could be very good, right? Bruiser plus, press proven plus, long ball pass, jockey intercept. The intercept's a really big one. That's literally the whole game in the defensive players. This card could be very nice, but I just don't know, right? Because I haven't tried him out. But with Sungare, he is going to join the could be good, but I don't know category as well. Because again, maybe they do this with the evolution, but it's hard to tell, right? Labotka is going to be another one that joins the could be good, but I don't know category as well. With this card, it's a card that, you know, is agile if you're a Napoli fan, right? And you gave him a shadow chemistry style. He does have very decent play styles, right? In my opinion, I do prefer to use the taller players in the midfield nowadays. Don't get me wrong, if you actually use Flashback Conte AI-wise, I mentioned to you guys this even in the review, he still does some pretty solid stuff for you, right? Because I was using him with the Benzema card, but as I'm using those cards, for me, I just want more physical, more height, more physical presence. I think is really, really key to work with. I even said the same thing with MacAllister. MacAllister is kind of like Conte, where it's like, if you like the AI stuff, like he's actually going to position himself really well, but even at this point, I'd probably still rather use like the Hullet card. Like they priced that card like crazy during that time period because it's Hullet, but it's a good card in game. That's why I put him in the S tier category for the Winter Wild card. But Hullet is still, would be still that guy in the midfield setup for me, right? So I think with Labotka, like he's formatted nicely. He could be a very good agile CDM, 100%, because he has the right stuff, right? Intercept, block, tiki-taka, anticipate for, like he has a lot of good stuff, right? Even aerial plus to kind of compensate for the height is a helpful situation too. It's not going to be like crazy on him because it's nice to have height with the aerial plus, but again, he's going to join the area of could be good, but I don't know, right? The next card here, I'm a little bit iffy on in regards to where I would specifically play him, because I'm going to be honest with you guys. MacAllister, from base card stats, actually had some pretty good stuff, right? I'm going to tell you this right now, that before the upgrade, I was like, okay, he needs some specific improvements, but here's the thing about this whole evolution situation, right? In order for you to use these cards for longevity of the meta, you have to put them into specific evolutions, right? You have to do this. Like this is the whole point. The game right now, guys, after the patch is so absolute meta, it's insane. So look at this card with the evolution on a shadow chemistry style. He's put into a significantly better position. His pace is in a better area, his defense is in a better area, and base card stats wise, this card is very enjoyable to use. So in my opinion, right, he's a combination of a B and an A tier, right? A tier, I would say after the Clark, because Clark has the work rates and the height, and they gave him after the evolutions. But for me, I put MacAllister there because honestly, that card could still perform really well. Anything from the B tier and up, I can almost like guarantee you that you could see some of these guys in the top. Like Chilwell, more sentimental, but I can actually see people doing the Liverpool guys because the evolution on them would be really cool. I would probably do MacAllister more than Clark if you didn't do Clark, right? It's like, okay, you know, I'm a Liverpool guy. I want my Premier League players. I didn't do the real S tier, so I'm going to put him over here, right? So for me, I think that MacAllister has a lot of very nice potential, right? Okay. Without a shadow of a doubt, if I was playing this game seriously, S tier. I just listen to what I'm going to tell you, okay, guys? If you do not have the absolute, I'm not talking about full meta anymore, guys. After this patch, no. I'm talking about absolute full meta, okay? Absolute. I'm talking like you need this, which is right, or this, because I tried him out on somebody's account and I'm like, oh my god, right? This. If you don't have those players, I told you guys in the review, okay? Really look into this card if you think he's going to get an upgrade, because he had the base mechanics. A card that's an evolution or a showdown that has the base mechanics, and then he's improved, and then he's improved on top of that. Count your blessings that they tied, okay? Count your blessings that they tied, because this guy is an easy S tier. One of the center backs that if you did the evolution and you're like, oh, who should I put it in? If you need a center back and you got the links, this is the guy. This is the only guy, in my opinion, that is such an obvious S tier. It's insane. And yes, I have tried him out after the patch. I didn't create highlights for him. I think people would... I should have done the review during that time, because the Felix review actually did really well. I have to like really focus on like the objective cards a lot first before the transfer market, because transfer market's more long-term, but the objective cards are short-term growth. But I've used this Akanji card, and he's crazy. I'm not kidding, guys. You will make mistakes, and this guy will still compensate for you, right? And quote unquote, you make mistakes because the defending manually wise, the skill aspect of it is tossed out the window, right? But this guy is what you need as a center back. I'm sorry to say, but he's what you need. He had the base mechanics already before the upgrade. I'm like, guys, really, really look into this card if you really think he's going to get improved. Count your blessings they didn't win, because it would have been even better. But look, what's not to like with this card? Look at the play styles that he has. Underrated thing that I talk to people all the time is the passing ones. Long ball pass and pinged pass. Huge play styles to work with. People don't talk about it enough, right? But he has everything, guys. Intercept plus and block plus, in my opinion, is better than having anticipate plus a lot of the times, because this game is so AI based that I will use anticipate, and sometimes they just won't receive possession of the ball. Not to say that it's not a good play style, but because it still is, right? But I'm just letting you know that the play styles that they gave him, man, like intercept plus is the big one because of the cutback meta. He finds himself positioned in insane positions. Block plus will save your life, okay? The passing is insane. The jockey with the anticipate, the slide tackle, first touch, aerial as well, guys. They gave him aerial as well. It's not just, oh, he has jumping, but unfortunately he doesn't have the extra enemy. No, they gave him aerial as well, okay? It's funny because as a Liverpool guy myself, I like FC Porto and Liverpool. I would have done Clark and Akanji because Akanji's like guaranteed meta. Clark is just because Liverpool, but he actually turned pretty good. It's just unfortunate that we only got one evolution. It would have been nice if we got two evolutions, to be honest, at the very least, because of the amount of cards that exist within the game. But guys, he's an undisputed S tier. I think he's the most obvious choice. I've used him a lot, right? A lot. After the thing, I just haven't done the highlights for him. I should have done the video for it, of course. But he's a beast, right? He's a beast. Bastoni, easy A tier as well. This one is going to be a controversial one. This is here. It's I'm gonna put MacAllister down here because I think these two make more sense. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this instead. Bastoni after the upgrade is really nice. And during the review, I mentioned to you guys as well that he had a lot of, like, you can feel when you use certain cards, there's certain cards you can feel the potential. Bastoni was a card you could feel the potential. If you choose to do the evolutions on the card, you're getting a solid center back. I used him. I didn't use this version specifically. I used this one, which is, I think, a tie from the Lazio game, if I'm not mistaken, because Lobotka was from that game. This card with a shadow chemistry style just defends really well in game because he's a lengthy 90 acceleration, 94 sprint speed, right? Good defensive animations, feels very strong in game, which I like a lot. This card doesn't have intercept, but I'm telling you, he has very good physical presence in game, really good. Anticipate plus, slide tackle plus. Also given the passing play styles, also given a regular block and an aerial, okay? For me, an easy A tier. People will do the comparison of Akanji versus Bastoni, and people will always have different opinions. I've seen on Twitter that people are saying Bastoni over Akanji. Guys, again, this is just my opinion. Do with it what you will. I think Akanji's better, okay? If I was going to choose the two and I used the two, Akanji's better. But if you chose to do Bastoni and you did this to him, you're still getting a very solid center back card, right? Especially if you're working with like the Italian links, the Inter Milan links. I don't know, maybe you packed like Barella, right? You packed this guy right here. Unfortunate with Lautaro losing to Atletico, because that Champions League card, as it improved, could have been better, right? But I don't know, say you have this card and you want to get that little nice triple link setup, there you go, right? Inter Milan fans are cooking for a card that's actually meta in the game. So if you chose to do him, I'll tell you guys this from experience. I was using this card next to Buongiorno in Division 1 before Elite. I think it might have been on was it Campaigns account? It might have been Campaigns account, I forget. And no, he did a really solid job. Really solid job. The anticipate for him is very noticeable. Very noticeable. But in this game, sometimes the manual defending is chalked anyways. You kind of know how that works, right? But yeah, easy A tier. A tiers, the A tier and above, they're like absolutes. You know what I'm saying? Like Akanji is the star tier of the absolutes, but the A tier and up, I think, are the ones you need to be making the choice on the most. But MacAllister, like I said, MacAllister is like this. He's like the two. Like he's like an in-between of the two, I would say, right? But yeah. Corbus, don't see anybody doing that. Could be decent, to be fair. João Felix, don't mind putting him on the A tier as well. I've used João Felix quite a bit after the upgrade. I will make a recommendation for the João Felix card. Okay, I'm gonna make a recommendation. Use him as a cam. Okay, if you use him as a cam, I feel like that's where you're gonna fully utilize the card. Don't get me wrong. The left stick stuff, as I mentioned in the review, is a combination of agile and physical. Because of that body type, it is noticeable. If we're gonna be talking about body types and stuff, like this is one of the only very few cards, you guys know it's memed over here, right? But this card right here, I think it was Jack of all trades, right? Even on the first touch plus, this card right here can left stick dribble in game, even though, right, he's an average normal body type player. Very rare occurrences, very rare. Doesn't happen very often, but that Correa card, it cooks in game. Okay, it cooks. But João Felix on the evolution, I have him on the SBC account because Akanji was done on Guiu's account because of the Premier League players, right? Otherwise, 100% would have been done on the SBC account. But I do have this version of João Felix now, and he does feel very nice to play with in game now. They added a little bit of special sauce on him, not as much special sauce on Clark. Clark, they gave him so much special sauce, it's insane, right? But with Felix, the card feels significantly better to use in game now, 100%. I will say, just as I mentioned in the review, the two things that are going to be a little bit off of the card sometimes, okay, is the shooting, especially on the weak foot. I noticed this a lot. Like sometimes the shots that kind of hit into the middle. So you could potentially give him a hunter just to make the shooting a little bit better. But there are a lot of situations in this game, guys, where honestly, like, it's nice to have the 5-star with the attackers, man. Like, especially right now, like the absolute meta is kind of key. Because if I get into like a really key situation, having that 5-star weak foot's just crazy. It's weird to explain because even like Werner, right? Like when I did the review for Werner, this card right here, man. Give me Timo Werner gameplay or I'll retire. Give me 70% Timo Werner gameplay, you know? But this guy, memes aside, is a beast. right? Really, really good. These are the cards that it's the Correa, the Benzema, the Timo Werner. That's Inception FC right there. You know what I'm saying? And this Timo Werner card, he just the 5-star weak foot, like it's really noticeable on these types of cards. Like it's really, really noticeable. You work with the dribbling, sure, but it's worth it. It's really, really worth it. The 5-star weak foot, I don't know, man. When I get into certain positions, one touch, one shot, boom. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially in this game, like you just don't have time. You don't have time. Like there's certain situations where, you know, having the skill moves is ideal because you do those like L1 elasticals, the ball roll scoops, like that kind of stuff, right? To open up the space, to force animations out of the defensive AI, because sometimes people really force the AI on you. But this card is insane. But listen, they did add some nice special sauce to João Felix. Again, the upgrade was not as significant as they did to Clark. I think Clark actually might last a pretty decent amount of time now, but João Felix was done really well, right? 100%. 100%. I still think the Akanji card, even with me being Portuguese, Akanji is still the absolute, if I was going to really put it into the evolutions. But João Felix, still pretty decent. Weird in the dribble as well as the shooting sometimes, but still very nice after the upgrade. Malcolm, I actually have this card on my SBC account because of the review, but don't see people doing it. Mudryk could be good. I don't know. I mean, it's a combination of the two, to be honest. This one I have to mention as well, okay? I have to mention this one as well. Listen, if you really, really require a Bundesliga right back, okay? So let's just take a look for a second. Let's just take a look. We go to right backs over here, and then we go to the Bundesliga. Okay, so you got Jeremy Frimpong. You're chilling. Don't even look at this card, okay? Because Frimpong is actually really nice in game, okay? Don't even look at this card. You're chilling. Other cards here. There's Bowie. Bowie could be good. I never tried him out myself, but Bowie is Bayern in French, which, to be fair, actually helps you out way more for the meta of the gameplay, 100%. Because Borussia Dortmund, like Dortmund, they don't really do much for Dortmund. Let's be real, man. I don't think they. I take all right back. Maatsen left back. I mean, you should use Davies at this point. I mean, if you, the moment you hear me say in the reviews, it's a card that will be used in the top divisions. Chalked. It's just to go right ahead, bro. The card's expensive. It doesn't matter. Go ahead, bro. If you got the fodder, you got the time. Be my guest, you know. But I'll tell you guys this right now. That this Wolf card, I would really, he's kind of like MacAllister. Because look, can I just show you guys one thing? This card is a controlled lengthy on an anchor, and it's really noticeable on him in game. Okay, really noticeable. I faced this card a few times already for people that, you know, have icons that have the German link, right? Because the key thing here is the Bundesliga German link, that part right there. So let's say, for instance, you did this, right? You did this card, and he gets further improvements, who knows, right? You did this card, you did Alphonso Davies, who gives him the link. You did this card right here, who could further improve, I think, if I'm not mistaken. He could further improve, right? If he did all of those cards, in my opinion, this Wolf card is an A tier, okay? Because, and again, I'm putting him at the end because I personally don't see a lot of people doing him because of the links and stuff, depending on like who they have on their team, because you have to have players that have expired. To be fair, players I told you guys were pretty good, right? Yosua, Fiorik had the potential. I can feel it on the card. He had the potential. Some cards I can't feel it, like Buongiorno, I couldn't feel it, but after the upgrade, he significantly better, right? I would even like he's just, I would put him at A tier. I'm gonna be honest, because I have faced him 3 or 4 times in the top divisions, and he's actually good. He's very tough to pass because of that controlled lengthy with the anchor chemistry style. He's actually a very, very solid right back. If you did him for the price range of 51k, like people were looking at it like this, and you do this, that's the key thing here. Like the dislikes will mostly come from the fact that people may not want to put him into the evolutions. I think that's what it comes down to mostly. But look at this card on the evolution improvement on an anchor chemistry style, right? It's pretty good. The meta for our right back, it's in a very solid spot. Anchor puts him in a solid spot. He even has dribbling stuff. He has good physical. Look at the play styles the card has, guys. We're not going to ignore this, right? Whipped pass plus, W. Jockey, a huge thing to have in the game now because they move like trash, right? Anticipates, technical to push forward. He's got long throw, which honestly in certain situations can actually be very helpful. Trivela, rapid, so that when he's dribbling with the ball at his feet, you can kind of time the R1 with the rapid. Rapid with a lengthy to run really nicely. Like, for me, he joins the A tier category. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much it, really. I would put Wolf at an A tier for sure. I think he's actually a very, very solid right back, especially when you give him that anchor, especially when you do that evolution. So all the pictures that you see here, it's more so like who you should put into the evolutions, right? But also for the quality in game without the upgrade. Because MacAllister, I think, is like kind of a combination of the two, but I'm okay with putting him at a B tier as a top tier, maybe on the lower tier, the side of the A. But if we're talking about the absolute full meta, Akanji is that guy. If you get the Akanji player, this guy's first of all gonna last you a very long time. I mean, dudes, I don't know what else you want for that pace like this with a shadow chemistry style 94, 96. Like, if you could give me 99 acceleration, 99 sprint speed with the lengthy, even better. Guys, it's a combination of different things, bro. Because he's mostly lengthy with 94, 96. Mostly. Not lengthy, not control, mostly lengthy. That's why when you make mistakes, this guy can still track back like a monster. Honestly, on my SPC account, probably should have done them for longevity, but the results are not really important there. It's just giving you guys the information. That's what it comes down to. Because on the personal accounts, I didn't even do Werner, and you guys know I love Werner, you know? But at least my boy Giyu has him. Giyu has that one squad that if he gets Premier League players like Werner at the top, like Kanji at center back, 100%. But yeah, for me, guys, he's absolute full meta. I think as an S tier, I'm not against that whatsoever. I'm not against where I put the A tiers, the B tiers, and the rest of them. Like I said, they could be okay, but longevity wise, whether people do it or not, it's hard to see. It's really, really hard to see. But these four, 100% I will see them in the top divisions. 1000% I will see them. Akanji, guaranteed if someone actually did it, to be honest, right? But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video today. If you guys want more tier lists for like different types of cards, I don't know, like attackers, defenders, midfielders, all that kind of stuff, we could definitely look into all of that. Okay, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video today. I'll catch you guys for next one. Peace out, dudes. Love you guys.